Good morning. My name is Will, and I'm an addict. It started about 18 months ago or so when a guy named Matt Clark told me about this Amazon thing, something related to ASM. I didn't know at the time what these three letters were going to mean. But since then, I have a big problem with this addiction. I'm addicted to selling on Amazon. I can't walk into a store these days without walking out and having 3 or 4 products I got to go research for private label potential. It's just crazy, right? Life has never been the same. How many of you want to cure that addiction? How many of you are addicted like I am? Yeah. How many of you want to cure that addiction? Listen, I saw a hand in the back. Sir, you can go ahead and leave the room and go enjoy Las Vegas, because we're not going to cure that addiction. We're going to make it worse for you. We don't have a 12-step program to get you out of this addiction. We have a program today that's going to give you steps to make you more addicted so you can make more money with Amazon. How's that sound? All right, we have a great lineup of speakers today, and you're going to learn some incredible things, very, very focused on growing your Amazon business, because this is what we're here for. So this first speaker, you've seen him post on Facebook sometimes. Okay, you probably don't know him very well, but he's kind of brilliant. He's got a funny laugh sometimes. Maybe he'll do it for us. Lives in the middle of nowhere in Iowa. And I'm proud to call him my business partner, so please welcome Jason Fladlin.
All right, look to the person to your left. Look to the person to your right. One of you will pay me $1 million by the end of next year. Because I'll make you 5, right? Not really. Hopefully, but maybe. I don't know, right? Thank you for being here. I'm very humbled. A lot of people here. By the way, I made like $10,000 today because 200 people didn't show up and they paid me $50. So my day is starting off awesome. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to talk for about 30 minutes. Then we're going to bring on our first speaker of the day, who's Ben Cummings. And he is going to talk to you about sourcing from China, which inevitably we're all going to have to do eventually. Later on, Dr. Ben will be talking after lunch. I'll come on after Ben Cummings and talk again. And then we'll close it up after Ben. You'll see me one more time. And if you're not sick of me by then we'll call it a success, okay? So I'm going to get the first PowerPoint loaded up here. It was probably my fault I didn't. Yes, we got some good people here today. And thanks to the staff. Let's give them a round of applause. Everybody that made this possible. Yeah. And is Sophia back there? Is she gone? Is she still here? Did she just walk in? Let's give a round of applause to Sophia. I could not put this event together. No. You guys would have been showing up in a Super 8 hotel, and we'd have been doing this probably in a field somewhere, you know? So I got good people, which makes me good. Now my question is about you, though. Who will you be? And you're thinking to me, what does that mean, Jason? And what does that mean in the context of Amazon? Well, I'm here to tell you what that means. First, I'm going to start it off with a section of a poem about Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. Does anybody know what I'm referring to? Say it if you know it. Say the thing that makes this poem famous. Water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. If you count everybody in this room who paid $4,000 to buy ASM, you come up with a lot of money, right? Over $1 million just in the collective spending from one program in this one room, right? But then you say, well, it doesn't stop there, because how many of you bought inventory and spent money on advertising? So maybe the average ticket is $6,000. Now we're creeping in on $2 million, right? Now this is one room out of how many rooms here at the Venetian? 6,000? I don't know. It seems like a whole lot. I'm amazed I even made it here this morning. I mean, I'm from a small farm town in Iowa. It's amazing if you put me in a big city. Okay, so then you say, how many other rooms have people that are spending money just on one big purchase in the last year? A lot, right? But you say, whoa, hold on. This is one area. What about on the casino floor? How many people are spending money there, right? But you say, well, hold on. What about the restaurants? Derby Perez and I, we each had a hamburger last night and a couple of beers, $100. 2 hamburgers, 5 beers, right? Total. So how much money is being spent there? But they say, well, hold on, Jason. This is just one casino in all of Las Vegas. How much money is being spent there, right? So when you think about Amazon and the billions with a B that they sell per year, it's no wonder that all of us here can sell products on Amazon and make a lot of money, right? Is that a possibility? Yes, it is. Okay, so how come so many of you still aren't making a lot of money on Amazon yet, right? Let's confront it. The beautiful thing is you usually get to events like this when there's 500 people or 600 people in a room, and it becomes so impersonal, which I hate, right? It's like I love to maintain a small, close-knit, intimate affair, but you just can't do it with 500 or 600 people. So what people typically do in events like this is they get like a big kumbaya powwow session. Everybody's great, everybody loves everything, and you'll get that for 3 days at the main event, so I don't think we need to do that today, right? My goal is to help you make money, right? And not enough of you are making it, and it's pissing me off, okay? Water everywhere and not a drop to drink. There are so many people buying so many things on Amazon, and you're swimming in it. Everywhere around you, when you walk on that casino floor, you used to say, that should be my customer. That should be my customer. That should be my customer, right? So we got to get some of that. I want you to do an exercise today, and I love my little devious mind of how I have my group, and we behave differently than the main group, right? Because I've always been a contrarian. Everybody told me, like, when I first started to wear something nice, so I wore nothing nice. Now everybody's like, don't wear anything nice anymore, Jason, it's not you, and here I am today, right? Wearing something nice. The masses are always wrong. They are always wrong. So I always think, what do we do differently than what everybody else does? So here's what I want you to observe this weekend while you're here at this conference. When you talk to somebody who's not an ASM master, poor souls they are, right? Talk to them, say, hey, how's the business going? Make it about them. Don't make it about you. Don't even talk about you unless they ask you to, right? And then ask them, oh, that sounds great, or if it doesn't sound great, say, oh, that doesn't sound great. What are you most struggling with right now, right? Ask them that. What are you most struggling with right now? And listen. Then ask yourself, is what they're struggling with something you would consider a major thing, or is it a minor thing? Now, why do you suppose I would have you do this exercise? Have you ever tried to proofread your own stuff? 2 a.m, I proofread these slides because I forgot to send them out to proofread. I am scared of what you're going to see on here, right? It's very hard to look at yourself objectively, right? But it's very easy to look at other people more objectively. But that's great because you'll learn more about yourself through other people than you will trying to do inward reflection. Does that make sense? So ask these people. Now, let's say you ask 100 people and you get 100 responses. How many of them do you think are going to fall in the category of minor? 95 of them, right? Every so often you'll get a legitimate issue. But they're rare, and that's what makes them interesting, right? And then guess what? What happens if you could solve that for them? That's great. We don't even need to do that, right? That's just extra. But just think about this. You'll get good at recognizing through the practice of judging other people, which is a pastime of mine, right? And you'll say, damn, why is this little stupid thing holding that person up? And you go, oh, wait a second. That's also been what's holding me up. And now you change it, okay? So if you say to me, gee, Jason, I'm still going back and forth with my supplier, just so many delays, boo-hoo, right? It's a minor problem. Minor problem. All right? Major versus minor. Do this for other people. And the beautiful thing is you're going to learn some stuff about people. You're going to create connections, which is why we're really here. It's not about these presentations, okay? It's to meet other people. And that's one of the ways that you'll get an advantage over everybody else. Somebody else will talk about themselves, and you'll let them. And then they'll like you because they're like, man, this person is awesome. Because they let me talk about myself, and then you can find ways to potentially help them, right? Now, here's something I do not want a single person to say to me. Here's something I do not want to overhear in the lobby from any of my people here today. This is something that if you say it, I am going to lose it. I've fallen behind. No. Fallen behind compared to what? Fallen behind compared to the 99.99% of other people out there who will never try to endeavor to be better than what they currently are, right? Have you fallen behind them? No, right? Have you fallen behind because you couldn't do one module a week? That's insane pace, by the way. And then this crazy guy comes on and says, no, we do 5 modules a week because that's just my style, right? 1 module a week is pretty intense. 5 modules a week is way more intense, right? Oh, I've fallen behind learning a whole new business model that last year I did not even know existed. And I've fallen behind, right? Okay, so on one sense, logically, it doesn't make sense to even think like that. But on another sense, a more important sense, emotionally, it doesn't allow you to think like that. Okay, because most people, with rare exception, when they say, I've fallen behind, what emotional response does that elicit? It makes them feel bad, right? Question to you. Do you perform better or worse when you feel bad? It's obvious. Just like when you ask other people, what are you struggling with? Well, I don't know whether to make it red or pink on my label. Minor, right? It's obvious, okay? I've fallen behind. That's not the question. That's not the statement. What you say is, here's what I'm doing to get ahead. Not, I've fallen behind. Here's what I'm doing to get ahead, okay? If I hear anybody say this, you will reach in your wallet and pay me $20, okay? That's the tax on the I've fallen behind. You want to know the real secret to ASM? I mean, we sell this course. We sell the high-end Cabo stuff. We're now working with a client that is a $45,000 package. We spend a lot of money on stuff. You want to know the biggest secret to success, regardless of whether it's a $7 ebook or it's a $45,000 purchase? Consistency. Consistency. Maybe 2 hours a week is best. Maybe I don't know anything at the end of the day, right? Because I live, breathe, eat, and sleep this stuff. I know more about Amazon and what people are selling on Amazon and how they're selling it than anybody in the whole world right now, because of everything that I've done and everybody that I've worked with and how in-depth I've worked with them, okay? Maybe 2 hours is best, though. Why do I say that? Does anybody notice Wilson's wife and how she's selling on Amazon, right? Took her 6 months to get started. She did 2 hours a week, right? It was slow. It was painful. Just my little PDF that she printed out for the Amazon shortcut system for copywriting, it probably took her 4 weeks to go through that. She would read a paragraph, and then she would write a line in her description, right? Read a paragraph, write a line, okay? Now, there's something wrong when Will's wife is making more per month on her Amazon business than Wilson and I are making, right? Maybe 2 hours is best. The wife of the COO is making more in Amazon than we are right now, right? And I mean, we have a lot of expenses, blah, 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 blah. But the point is, she's consistent with her approach. And that's why we don't care about the falling behind. I don't care about any of that stuff. All I care about is every single day you show up and you chip away at it. Every single day, you get farther ahead than you were the day before. You know what happens? People get all freaked out because they've fallen behind a little bit. So you know what they do? Stop! That's the worst thing you can do, okay? Now, on the other hand, there are people that will go out there and they'll bleed on their Amazon listing because they'll work it so hard, right? And they're good out of the short term, but in the long run, they fizzle away. Consistency is the name of the game. You chip away at it. You chip away at it. It's the hardest thing in the world to do. It's the surest thing in the world for getting the results. Reality in 3 parts. Part number 1, is selling on Amazon going to get easier? Is it going to get harder? Or is it going to stay the same? Harder? Easier? It's a good question. I think it's going to get harder. I really do. Now, for a long time, I was thinking that it's going to stay about the same. Where certain opportunities are missed out on because of oversaturation, other opportunities open up, right? Because we're working with so many people, I'm learning so many things. So while there's more competition, there's also more knowledge being extracted. And there's also more examples, right? So you can make the argument that it's going to stay the same. But after looking at so many listings, doing so many consultations, doing our own stuff, doing all the analysis and all the research, I think it's going to get harder, okay? I really, honestly do. And it's going to get really harder in about 2-3 years from now. So have you ever noticed, like in Google, like there's somebody ranked number 1 for like a technological topic that is like 6 years out of date, but they're still number 1, right? It's hard to be usurped if you're there first, right? So we got to get there first. So every single day, I feel a massive sense of urgency. I got to get there first, because after a while, it's going to be very hard to get there, right? I got to get there first. I think it's going to be harder. And so we got to work today while it's as easy as it will ever be. That's how I'm thinking in my mind. And maybe I'm tricking myself, right? But reality as I see it is we got to work as diligent and consistent today, because it's not going to get easier tomorrow, right? So if ever there was a time to move forward, not fall behind, but move forward, it's now, okay? And you say, well, how is it getting harder, okay? How many people are selling Forskolin, okay? You could do everything right, and you're still going to be very hard for you to be successful. You know, we were paying 2 cents an Amazon click a year ago, and now we're paying $2.02 a click, right? At the very least. A year ago, we're like, screw it, we'll just blast Facebook ads, and it worked really good. And now everybody sees Facebook ads for Amazon products, and it doesn't work as good anymore, right? And so it inevitably leads me to the conclusion that, damn it, we're going to have to build an email list. Which it's hard, and it sucks, right? And we're going to have to probably build a website, because we still don't have one, right? We don't have a website for our products that we sell, right? Because the golden days are not going to last very much longer. Now, that's not to get dismayed. Let's cash in on the golden days while we can, right? But realize those days are numbered, okay? And, you know, ASM3 is the last time they're going to sell Amazing Selling Machine. It's done. Nobody else is going to be able to buy it again, right? I'm already preparing for the next batch. Reality part 2. Can you rely on just the techniques in ASM if you want an advantage, right? Now, do you need anything outside of ASM to succeed? No. I've seen many, many people succeed with nothing more than what's inside of ASM, and that's it, and not even using more than 15% of what's in ASM, right? But I always think advantages. Talking to somebody the other day, and they talked about fair, right? And I hate that word in business. I don't want to be fair. If it's fair, what does that mean? It means anybody can win, right? I don't want anybody to win. I want to win. So I want to have an advantage that nobody else has when I'm selling, right? So if we do the same exact thing that everybody else is doing, it's true that we've bypassed the first level of competition, which is these normal people selling on Amazon, right? You know, the 1 image, 5-word title, 3 bullet points because they couldn't manage to write all 5 of them, right? Maybe a product description, maybe not, right? So we've bypassed them, okay? Then we've bypassed the round of ASM people who are just being as unsophisticated as possible because they didn't buy through me, so they don't know our copywriting techniques, which are the best in the world. They didn't. They are. They really are. I joke that I have personally single-handedly artificially raised the prices in several different major categories on Amazon Because I get my people selling at a high price, and then the competition copies their high price, right? There's been several massive product lines where I've driven up the price artificially on Amazon by $10 over what they were purchasing last year. I'm still waiting for Bezos to mail me a damn check. I'm making that guy too much money, right? That's copy. That's marketing. That's what I'm good at, right? But we can't rely on just the advantages that are presented. Now, most people aren't even taking advantage of all the advantages that they have in ASM, right? And I'm telling you, maybe we need to take advantage of more of them than what we're taking advantage of right now. And why? Because the golden age is only going to be here for so long. Okay? Reality part 3. What conditions can the little guy always compete in? And I hate the word little guy. I originally had it in this slide as little person, but I didn't want you to think about like actual little people, you know? That's an interesting niche, but that's not what we're here for, right? But how can we compete as not massive corporations? How can we compete without massive advertising budgets? How can we go up against Now Foods if we're in the supplement business, right? How can we go up against Kodak if we're in the camera business, right? How can we go up against these people? What can we do to always guarantee that we can compete? So one of the problems with being as big as I've come in this business is we are slow as hell at doing any damn thing. And it drives me nuts, and I realize it's needed. But Will can tell you how many times I complain about, yeah, you guys sit on a conference all damn day long and 6 hours later figure this stuff out. You know, I'm going to be over here doing this thing, right? Because I got to run it by everybody. And we got to come to an agreement. And we got to consider the 50,000 different angles of the ramifications of what this will do to the brand. Because we have a lot at stake, right? That's an advantage you have over me. You're agile. You can switch on a dime. You can make course corrections. You're a little rowboat and you can churn in half a second. I'm a big battle tank and it takes me 2 nautical miles to churn, right? That's one of the conditions that the little person can always compete in, is that you can be agile. You can be quick to market. Where I will not go, you can go. And I'm going to talk about a strategy later today that you'll absolutely hate. But if you do it, you will absolutely love the result. Okay? And this is what I'm always thinking. Now, I think of myself as a little guy, right? That's always how I approach it, because I want to be lean and mean and scrappy when I go out there and attack this thing, right? And so I want to have a competitive advantage no matter what happens in Amazon, okay? Now, here's the best news of all. Brand new people are still crushing it. You've seen them. ASM3 people come out of nowhere, and they're like, boom, $20,000, right? So would you agree with me that it's still absolutely viable, absolutely possible to start brand new and in a very short period of time do very well on Amazon, yeah? Hell yeah! Okay, and that yeah didn't sound that good. Maybe you don't believe it, right? Let's try it again. Is it possible? Yes, it is. You're right. It's possible. That's all we care about. It's still possible, and it happens very often still, right? So it's viable. So I always ask myself in these situations, what are the commonalities and or causes of such successes? Do you do this? I'll tell you what most people do when they see a success story. The first emotion they feel is they get mad, right? Damn it. They either get mad at the person, which is just projection, because they're like, they're making money. Oh, they're dumber than me and uglier than me, and they're making more money than me, right? And then they get mad at themselves. Why aren't I making money like that, right? Why are they doing it and I'm not doing it? You get mad. That's the natural reaction, and that is 100% acceptable, okay? And it's a knee-jerk reaction. If you can condition yourself not to get mad, right? And other people get very happy. That's just in their nature. Very few of them, I mean, are conditioned that way, but they're like, awesome, another success story, yay! I don't do either of those things. I say, what caused this? And I immediately start sleuthing. And boy, I should have been a private investigator because I can find some stuff on the internet, right? Here's some of the causes that I've recognized for quick successes on Amazon. Cause number 1, I just follow what was taught. Don't you hate it when you ask somebody that in like the ASM Masters group? Like, how did you do that? I just followed the course, right? Okay, sure, you know. You say, what specifically did you follow most? That's what I like to ask them, right? They're like, well, I did this thing over here. Oh, well, why didn't you tell me that, right? And so when they say, I just follow what was taught, you really have to read between the lines. What are they really saying when they're saying that, right? What they're saying is they got out of their own way and just moved forward. Had a conversation with a guy last night, and I felt kind of bad because I was mean to him, but he came up to me. He's an ASM master. I'm sure he's here right now. He came up to me and he's like, Jason, I found this guy's got a patent for this thing, and it's one of a kind. And I said, stop. Don't do it. I don't even know what he was talking about, right? As soon as I heard the phrase one of a kind, I instantly got sick. We don't want one of a kind. We do not want one of a kind. We want a million of a kind. And we want to just market it this much better on Amazon, because then we'll get this much more results, right? I don't want your amazing new pocket fishing device that doesn't tangle, right? And also lets you floss your teeth with it, right? It's one of a kind, great. I don't want it. I want a freaking life hammer that's an ugly orange that looks exactly like the 15 other life hammers that are on page 1 of Amazon, right? And I'm just going to do better marketing. That's what we're in the business of. So when they say, I just follow what was taught, you have to understand what they're really saying is, I did not get in my own way. That's a success trait. Cause number 2, I call this winning the Amazon lottery. Some products just work, flat out of the gate. You want to know the most common reason people are succeeding on Amazon? The one thing that I've seen more success stories be created from than anything else. They picked a product who just happened that the Amazon ads in that category were not saturated. Just from the Amazon ads themselves, they got enough sales to be on page 1 in a very short period of time. And now they do nothing, and they make consistent sales on a day-to-day basis. Not many people will tell you about that, right? It's a dirty little secret. I call it winning the Amazon lottery, right? That's some of the reasons why some of these people succeed. And so do you say to yourself, why are they doing it and I'm not doing it? That's a bad conversation to have, right? What do you got to say to yourself is either I start picking more products so I can win the Amazon lottery. Because I'll tell you what, if lottery tickets were free, I'd be playing the lottery, right? If I could buy 1 million tickets for $1, I'd be playing the lottery, right? If the odds are in your favor, great. So you got to ask yourself, how can I put myself in a position to win the lottery? And even if I don't win the lottery, I still win, okay? But this is happening, and this is a big success story. Cause number 3, leveraging existing assets. They say, oh yeah, I started and I did really good, really short. And you're like, well, what did you do? Well, I emailed my list of 5,000 people. Oh, okay, so let me get this right. Step number 1. Get list of 5,000 people. Step number 2, sell Amazon product, right? So you have to understand, this is why some people are succeeding where you're not succeeding yet. So don't get mad about it. Don't say they're doing something I'm not doing. Don't blame yourself. Just say, I'm eventually going to have to create assets. What's the best way to create an asset, do you know? Do stuff. Cause number 4, burning obsession. This is me. This is my kind of people, right? We don't sleep. Okay? We work Sundays because nobody else works Sundays. And we say, hey, well, they're sleeping, I'm winning, right? And we just do anything and everything at our disposal. And through sheer brute force, we crack the combination even if we have to put it in 1 digit at a time, right? Now, this is the least cause of success in the short term because Amazon's only a product that's been out ASM for a year, right? There are people coming up to me from ASM 1. Just last week I did a consult. Guy said, I finally was a success 13 months later, right? That's awesome. Consistency, right? It's that burning, yeah, give that up. 13 months. It took Christiana, Will's wife, 6 months, right? 13 months, burning obsession. Just chip away at it. Just keep going. We'll see way more of those success stories come out. We definitely will, okay? And I don't think it's the best way as a cause of success, but it's the way that I know. And so the good news is at least you got me because I can distill some of that to you, right? Cause number 5, expansive personal network. Okay? I have seen people reach number 1 on Amazon doing nothing more but begging old college roommates who they haven't seen in 20 years to buy their stupid little stretch mark cream and leave a 5-star review for it, right? Having their pastor buy it, right? I mean, Girl Scout cookie salespeople, they say, I'll make you a deal. Buy my stretch mark cream for your mom, and I'll buy this box of cookies, right? I've seen it. 75-star reviews in a 2-week period. I've seen some people go crazy like that. And guess what? Those 70 sales were enough. Page 1. Okay? Now, that wouldn't work if you're doing like a vitamin C serum, but it would work if you're doing like a, peptide cream or some weird thing like that that sells reasonably well but isn't super over saturated, right? Expansive personal network. Now, everybody wants to say, I don't have a network, until you drill them on it, right? And then you find out, well, you do have a network, you're just shy and you don't want to bug them, right? Now, who here has asked their friend, a good friend, for a favor to buy their product and leave a review, and their friend never even bought the product, right? What's the rate on that? Like 50% of the people you asked, right? If not more. Expect that. That's going to happen. So you know what you do? You bug the hell out of them till they do it, right? And I just do this. I don't beat around the bush. I just tell them, you're my friend, right? Yeah. I mean, are you really my friend, though? Yeah. So if I could ask you to do something, even if it was absurd, but it'd be super easy for you to do it, would you do it? Yeah. Okay, well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to buy my Amazon product because I want to make a whole bunch of money with it. So buy this damn thing, okay? And then if they don't, next week I said, hey, I thought you said you were my friend. I will guilt them. I will beg them. I have no shame, okay? Shame is something poor people have, okay? I have no shame. We all have a network. Yeah, yeah. Tweet that stuff, right? We all have a network. And if you say, well, I'm in the UK, Jason, I don't have anybody in the United States. Well, how do you solve that problem? Start meeting people in the United States, right? I'm toying with the fact of going on a dating site, not to get a date. Get some coupons out, right? Match.com. I got a match for you. Network. Easy. Anybody can do that, right? Now, the note is that those 5 commonalities, those were for quick found success for the most part, okay? I much prefer slow and steady, long-term, chipping away at it, one step at a time success. And if you even trick yourself into believing that, that's good because that'll consistently make you move forward, right? That's what the rest of us are going to do. And I always categorize myself as the rest of us. Here am I, setting history. This affiliate promotion that we did for ASM3, no affiliate had ever made that many sales for a product launch, ever. The previous record was from Frank Kern from StomperNet 7 years ago. Ha ha, Frank, I beat you, right? But I always still think of myself as a little guy. I say to Will, this is the 6 things that we screwed up on. This is where we could have made 10% more, right? I'm happy in the short term, and then I say it's time to get back to work, right? I always think of myself as that. I'm trying for the quick term success, but I'm prepared for the long road, right? I expect the plane to land in Vegas intact in one piece, right? I just expect to sit next to the smelliest person on the plane who steals the armrests and circle around waiting for it to land and getting my luggage lost, right? But I'll still get there, all right? It starts today or it starts again today. This is a new day, right? The best thing about the past is it's over with. That's a phrase I use all the time. The best thing about the past is that it's over with. I do not care if you were an ASM1 member and you still have not went through the first module. I don't care. Go through the first module when you get home, right? You know how many people bring that baggage in? So when they sit down at the first module, they're like, ooh, I didn't do it. Doesn't help you, okay? You know what? Your whole life you've been taught to feel guilty about stuff, right? That's what they teach you, to feel bad about things. Enough other people are trying to do that to you already. Don't help them, okay? Don't help them do that. Sit down and say, I don't care what is done in the past. In economics, we call this a sunk cost, right? Sunk cost. So if I pay for something, whether I do use it or do not use it, if I can't recover my money back, it's a sunk cost. Okay? You made a plan to do something. Whether you did or did not do it, this is the result. Sunk cost. So don't let it influence what you're doing today, what you've done in the past. Okay? The second best thing is it's led you to be right here in this room right now. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? That's the only thing that you have to worry about. I don't care about the million bad decisions you may have made. This one good decision to be here today trumps all of that. Okay? And now we start again anew. So who? That was the start of my presentation. Who will you be? Who will you be when you leave this event and go back home? What kind of transformation needs to take place for you today and throughout this weekend so when you come back home, you'll be a different person? One who's going to get the result that the past you has not gotten. Who will you be when you leave this event and go back home? Think about it. Think specifically who you will be as a different person. Who would you like to be? Start from there and work backwards, okay? Got it? Thank you so much. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back here. Ben Cummings will be talking about sourcing from China.